I've got good news, sir. The source of the problem was inside the monastery. There was nothing more to it.
And the construction?
We'll continue. The master builder's helper was to blame for everything. With him out of the way, the work will run smoothly again.
That's good. You've accomplished your task admirably, Henry, and I should reward you for it.
Thank you, Sidivish.
God save. Can I help you with anything?
I brought you the crown from the master engraver.
Henry, you are a gem. Look at that Moldavite. Isn't it wonderful? Sophie will look like an angel. And now I'd like to reward you.
That's not necessary, my lady. You taking the time to see me is reward enough.
Come now, Henry. No need for such modesty. I appreciate everything you've done for me, as well as your company. And there's something I'd like to give you. This shirt was my father's. He was built very much like you. Broad shoulders, strong chest. It should fit you just right.
But I can't accept this. It's too valuable.
It's too valuable to be left to the mercy of moths. It doesn't fit my husband well, and I've no one else to give it to. What's more, if you were to leave us again, I'd like you to have something to remember me by, so you don't forget me.
I could never forget you, my lady.
Well then, won't you try it on at least?
What? Right now?
Why not? Don't worry, I won't look. I'll turn my back.
And what if your husband comes in?
He won't. Neither will anyone else.
I thank you, but I can't possibly accept such a gift. Besides, undressing in front of Sidivish's lady wife is quite inappropriate.
That's a shame. I'm sure you'd look very fine in it.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
I've taken care of that camp.
Have you brought me proof?
Here it is.
I'm delighted to hear it. Now it seems we can take a bit of a breather. There's no sign of any humans around here. I must say, I'm impressed with the job you've done.
Thank you, Captain.
But it would be a pity to waste your talents. They say the roads aren't safe even by Sazau, or around Skalitz. God preserve us. Over there, the brigands are on the rampage.
Well, I'll be glad to deal with them.
I don't doubt it. But in Sasau, you'll have to go first to Sir Sebastian. He's the custodian at the Sasau Monastery, and in charge of security in that region. He'll tell you where to find them, and I'm sure he'll be glad of a helping hand.
Very well, Captain. I'll head there then.
I must reward you for saving my livelihood. If folk believe the stories, well, I dread to think how it could have ended up.
But the bad stone wasn't even from your quarry.
Still, sometimes words can hurt a man more than a blow from a mace. Here's your reward. You've earned it, lad.
Alright, with everything out of the way here in Talmberg, we're going to head south to, I believe it was Ledechko, because we have an exorcism to conduct, as well as some other business down in that area. So I'll see you guys when we arrive there.
Master Blacksmith, I think I know how the tempering gets done in Sasau.
And what have you found out? Don't keep me on tenterhooks. Out with it.
He heats it up to red, 3 steps away from yellow, and then stops heating, says the Lord's Prayer, and quenches.
I'll be damned. That's pretty much what I do too. Except I just count.
I'm just saying what I found out.
That's as may be. But there must be something else he does differently if he does the quenching just like I do.
He said he repeats the tempering straight after, but only warming up the iron, so it never even turns red.
Tempering twice in a row? Why would he do that?
He said it happened by chance once, and he noticed it made everything stronger, so now he does it that way all the time.
Well, there's no harm in trying it out, is there?
Are you satisfied?
You did what I asked of you, so I'm at your service. And here's something to keep you going.
I've heard that some time ago a pilgrim from the Holy Land was selling a few relics. Did he come by here and offer you part of a sword?
Would it surprise you if I said yes? Why do you ask?
I'd buy the piece from you.
Well, why not? I don't know why I let myself get bamboozled into buying it. It's quite useless, and I can't say I've had good luck ever since.
Okay, so that's one quest turned in, and another piece of the Queen of Sheba's sword to complete the other quest. I actually have the one from, I want to say Rattay. I think I stole it accidentally. I mean, as much as you can steal something accidentally. I happened upon it in the swordsmith's shop in Rattay, and I just took it because I saw it. So, let's go deal with the Exorcism now, because this might take a little bit longer than that did.
I'm back with the incense. Can we begin?
Good. Let's go to the cross in the bedroom. Well, what are you waiting for?
I feel a bit out of my depth. This is my first time.
Now you tell me. Well, get started. You've got the flowers, so it has to work.
Well, here goes. Pater noster quies incarnis sanctificator omen tuum.
Are you sure you're saying that right?
Shh! We mustn't be interrupted. In nominate parties et filiis et spirits etc. Ave Maria gratia plenti dominatrix tecum. Glory be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. O Lord, may he rest in eternal peace, and may eternal light guide his way. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please God I can finally sleep in peace at night. Come by tomorrow to see if it worked.
Okay, well, hopefully I did that right. Oh god, I'm stuck. Let's get out of here.
What's the matter?
Wouldn't you like to measure your skills against mine?
In combat, you mean?
I fear there's nothing else I know, friend. I'm just a wayfarer with a sword. I roam the world trying to earn a crust, that's all.
So you're a bandit?
You do me an injustice. I try to avoid banditry. Although, last winter I had to resort to that too. So, shall we fight then?
Alright, why not?
Do you have any coin?
Aye, I have.
I'm glad to hear it. Let's get to it then.
Alright, a little bit of practice dueling here. Can't let our skills get too rusty before the next tournament. It has been actually quite a while since I've properly fought anybody, so I very much welcome this. Haha! Oh, but I came up well short there. This guy's not that good, actually. Oh, I almost killed him. Oh.
Fuck it. Oh well. Here you are.
Well, thank you. That was quite easy, actually. His gear's not that good, though, and obviously his skills weren't really up to par either, at least not compared to ours anymore.
Yeah. Is there any work here for carpenters?
Are they locals?
From Skalitz?
Then no. I only take in people I know.
God be with you, Henry. Congratulations on your victory in the tournament.
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
In Sasau. I bumped into them in front of the tavern. Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt. You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Rattay. It's overcrowded with refugees, and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in the Dechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks.
My lord, I'm afraid you were right when you said these hostilities wouldn't end at Przemyslovitz.
That comes as no surprise.
What has happened? The men reported 2 more attacks today.
Ah, Henry. I'm glad you're here. It seems like we'll have another task for you. Come and join us.
My lord,
Greetings, lad.
The bandits raided a few remote hamlets, but that's the least of our worries. They also attacked Merhojed, and that's a much more serious matter.
Merhojed. Matthias is working there.
They attacked right after the battle in Probislavitz. Bastards were probably trying to prove they're still strong. But there's a silver lining. The villagers held them off, and they even took one captive. He's wounded, but we can still interrogate him.
Your Graces, I hope I'm not intruding.
On the contrary, Master Tobias. Unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in Probislavitz?
My lord, I'm sorry, but my news is no better than Captain Bernard's. These coins are very good. That is to say, well-made facsimiles, as we call them.
What? I don't give a fuck what you call them. I want to know what they're fucking worth.
That's just it, sir. They're worth nothing.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here
is just a pile of copper.
Curva! Fuck!
Plated with silver, so it's still of some worth.
Curva! Fuck!
Is it a lot of work to make such counterfeits, Master Tobias?
I should say so, sir. Highly demanding work. Especially to make such plausible forgeries. They would need a well-hidden foundry, several craftsmen, and a source of material.
But they could just be brought in from somewhere else, could they not?
Well, they could, but then again the silver mines are nearby, and these groschen seem freshly minted, so...
So we are facing a foe who has almost limitless sources of coin. That's all we need.
Doppeltel.
Well, gentlemen, it's clear what we have to do. Interrogate that captive bandit, find out their numbers, and promptly cut off their supply of money. Otherwise, they'll soon have another encampment.
If they haven't already.
I doubt it, sir. Merhojed wouldn't have been able to hold them off if they did.
Well, lad, I said we'd have work for you, but it never crossed my mind there would be this much. You've already proved your worth as an investigator, so I'm putting my faith in you again. Go to Merhojed and question that captive. Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning. And while you're at it, see if you can find some clues as to where this counterfeit coin is coming from.
Very well, sir.
Good luck. We're counting on you. All of us. Come report to me as soon as you know anything. I'll be at the lookout point near Talmberg. I hear you won the rat-eye tourney. Well done, lad. Chief Engineer Pfeiffer has been asking for someone reliable to assist him.
Is it about Skalitz?
In a manner of speaking. Master Pfeiffer has, well, evil forebodings. I think he may want to send you to the Skalitz mines.
Can they really be restored?
Everything can be rebuilt with enough will and resources. Well, everything except a man. You'll get the details from Chief Engineer Pfeiffer. For the time being, consider yourself his handyman.
Certainly. I'll go and see him straight away.
Good luck, Hal.
What can I do for you?
Sir Radzig sent me to be of service to you.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. It's high time we started putting things to rights. There's been quite enough dithering.
How can I help with these, evil forebodings of yours?
Sir Radzig may make light of it, but a large quantity of silver has been discovered hereabouts. And no one is guarding the Skalitz mines, the most likely source.
You really think someone could be stealing the silver from the mines? I would have thought that would be quite a job, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. Which is why I'd like you to go and check out not only the mine gallery, but also the yard with the smelter and the waterworks. See what kind of state it's all in, and if anything looks suspicious.
Is that the yard next to the Skalitz mill?
That's the one. I don't know what state it's in now. There used to be a stock of charcoal and smelted silver there.
A silver store? Could there really be any left?
I doubt it. I'd be surprised if it was still standing at all.
You said mine gallery. Just one?
Boy, there's such a maze there that it would take a week to crawl through the place. There's only one gallery I'm interested in, at the foot of the hill by a small fish pond.
Why just that one?
Because I was expecting to find a scene there. All the indications pointed to it. So if anyone is stealing silver, it'll be right there.
What about these waterworks? What's there?
A stamping mill and washing troughs. They're on the bend in the river below the castle. You can't miss them. There are big tanks and equipment all around.
Should I be expecting trouble then?
Well, I definitely wouldn't treat the job like a visit to church on Sunday. You could find yourself facing that pack of hungry dogs trailing the army, or a band of brigands.
I see. Well, you and Sir Radzig can rely on me.
Alright, so it sounds like we've got plenty of work ahead of us. I'm gonna head to Ledechko first and inquire about some work for Fritz and Matthias. No, not Fritz and Matthias. Fritz and our friends. I'm gonna inquire about some work for them, and then we'll head to Merhojed and try to investigate this attack. So I will see you guys there.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, 2 survivors of Scalise, are looking for work.
And why should I take them?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
I'm from Scalise, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines, and their master couldn't praise them highly enough.
In the Scalise mines? That's skillful work. I'll be glad to talk to them. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
Alright, well, it sounds like we've got a job lined up for them, so we'll have to tell them next time we're in Sasau. But for now, let's continue on to Merhojed.
Avoid Merhojed. God has cast down the people there.
Good day to you.
What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked by them brigands. Barely come out of that alive. Now the plague.
Plague, you say?
Indeed so. Something's up with the village. Even the livestock are dying. It's a gruesome sight.
Who attacked you?
I don't know. Some bandits. Ever since Scarlet's was raised, they've been marauding the whole province.
I heard the bandits didn't get very far here, though.
Luckily, young Straw saw them still over by the cross and woke the whole village. We even captured one. He's tied up now at Melikar's place. But then the disease came.
Did you put up a fight?
We most certainly did. Once Melikar heard young Straw shouting to the hills, he handed everyone a pitchfork or a flail, and we ambushed the bastards.
Good on you. How did it turn out?
We gave them what for until they turned tail and ran. But they cut up young Straw something awful. He didn't live to see morning.
Tell me more about this plague. It sounds terrible.
Worse than you can imagine. The whole stud, livestock, sheep, chickens, all dead or dying. No doubt the people will be next. Melikar's old woman's taken to her bed, and it doesn't look good. Straw's wife and brother, more and more.
I'm sorry to hear it. Who are Melikar and Straw?
That's right, you're not from around here, are you? Melikar's the one looking after things round here now. Before that, it was down to Smill from the Neuhof stud. But they killed him that time they raided the place. And young Straw is the son of Andrew, a local woodcutter. Or was, I should say. The bandits saw to that. His old man isn't taking it well.
Where will I find Melikar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melikar's is the house on the left.
Are you Melikar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Sir Radzig. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Sir Radzig won't help us with that, any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No news has reached Ratai of any disease here. But I'm here now, and I can help you.
Well, since you serve Sir Radzig, you might be of some use. If anyone can be.
Tell me what to do.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
It might have crossed your mind to send someone there sooner.
People are barely venturing outside their own homes, they're so scared. And word has got around that the plague is raging here. If someone met us wandering about, well, I'd fear the worst. And besides, you're the envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla himself. Your word will carry more weight in the monastery than some lowly peasants.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die without help.
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses, but don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
Right, so to make sure I hit all the houses and get all the information I can, I'm going to start at one end of the main road through town. And just kind of work my way house to house along the main road. So let's start at this one. And yes, it is marked with lime, so let's go inside.
Jesus, lad, what are you doing here? Can't you see the plague cross on the door?
I'm here because of it. The monastery sent me to help.
God bless you, boy. It's about time.
I need to know exactly what you're suffering from.
Oh, I see. Well, I have a dreadful fever. My wife, too. I recall almost nothing of yesterday. I was raving for most of it.
Is there anything else? Apart from the fever?
Well, forgive me for saying so. The shit just pours out of me. I can't keep anything in. I'm completely worn out. My wife's the same.
You have my thanks. I'll try to bring help.
Wait a minute, will you? I have one favor to ask.
So tell me.
I need to write my will. Can you write?
I might manage that.
Excellent. So get writing.
Yes?
I, Vincent, son of Vincent, grandson of Vincent of Merhojed, do bequeath my estate and all my worldly goods to my wife Wilma. If my wife were to pass away with me, I bequeath all to my cousin Dobesh, at this time the cobbler in Janovitz. In no event shall my prodigal son Elia, the layabout and good for nothing, inherit a single groschen, all customs and traditions aside.
Should I write that too?
Yes. And then write, the executor of my last will is to be my good friend, Father Fabian, presently the parish priest at the Church of St. Martin in Sasso.
Anything else?
This will was written down by. What is your name?
No more suffering.
Henry. Presently in fealty to Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Well, I never. That will add some weight. Here, take my ring so Fabian will know it to be truly from me. You can never be sure nowadays.
All right, I'll head off then.
Yes.
Mama.
Go now.
Mama.
Go before you catch the disease. Then where will we be?
Have you come for my wife? You're out of luck. I'm old Straw, don't you know? Straw! You've taken my son. But you shan't take my wife. You bastard.
I've come to help your wife.
To help her over to the other side. Isn't that God's own truth?
I'm sorry that they killed your son. I truly am sorry. But if you don't want that disease to take your wife, you'll let me see her right away.
I can help her.
I don't want her taken, no.
There. You see?
What? Are you a quack?
Something like that.
Then go to it. Go!
Right. Where the hell am I now? Okay. I think she's in one of these rooms, possibly? Maybe that's her.
Fever. Just like Merhojed's wife.
Hopefully our welcome's a little bit warmer here. Okay. I guess let's start with this room.
Who are you? Can't you see we have the plague cross on the door?
My name is Henry. I'm going to the monastery to get help.
It's long past time. The Lord's already taken my poor Anthony. And what do you want from me?
I need to know how the illness afflicted your husband.
Yes, I'll tell you everything. But first help me bury my husband. I'm too weak. And Merhojed said the dead should be buried at once.
Tell me first. I need to go around other infected houses too. But then I'll be back and I'll help you.
Thank you. But please do come back. I can't do it alone. My husband had the fever all over.
Anything else?
He had great pains in his belly. He said it felt like it'd been stuffed with rocks. He was writhing all night through. It must have hurt terribly.
Thank you.
Alright, with the grave dug, let's grab his body here. Hopefully nobody minds. And we'll go drop it in the hole that we dug. Alright, in you go. And there it is. So his grave is all taken care of.
Brother. Dearest brother. Is that you?
Yes, it's me, your, brother.
Everyone is nearly here. We need to get the skeleton for the fair.
Tell me, brother. How are you feeling?
Wait. You're not my brother? You're one of those brutes. Brother! Lock the door! They're back again. Please, God, no.
Brother, don't you recognize me? It's me. I'm your brother. I was gone for a long time. I've come back home for Advent, remember?
Yes. Yes. I remember. Give me a drink of water, brother. I'm thirsty. Terribly thirsty. I feel like I'm burning in hell. I can drink a pitcher of water and right away I'm parched again.
Okay. So, sounds like they've been suffering from fever, dehydration. Somebody had pretty nasty diarrhea, if I recall. I need more information, though. Let's go back to maybe the main guy, and he can possibly tell us a bit more.
I'm looking for Matthias. He works as a stable hand at the stud farm.
Matthias? The brigands got him, poor lad. He's lying wounded at the stud.
Thanks. That'll be all for now.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
He took me into his garrison.
Hal, the blacksmith's boy, in the service of his lordship. Who'd have ever thought it? My luck hasn't been so good.
If you survived, that's something to thank God for.
True enough. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
When did this plague start?
The day after the raid. The horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Vurba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague that got him. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and people will end up the same for sure.
Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melechar and Straw have sick ones at home.
Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt?
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't humans, though. They spoke Czech.
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't look so brave.
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melechar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torch it. But even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melechar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melechar still hasn't decided what to do with him.
I understand old Straw wants revenge, but first I have to question that bandit. What happens after is no skin off my nose.
Good luck, then.
Alright, well, I think we have all the information we need, so the next step is going to be heading back to Sasau. I feel like we were just there, which we kind of were, and talking to probably Brother Nicodemus, or, well, Johanka as well, to figure out what exactly we can do about this, and then obviously we'll have to come back with some sort of cure.
Stop and have a word with me. It would help me greatly.
What is it then?
It's about this. I challenge you to a duel, sir.
What?
You heard? Don't try to wriggle out of it. Let's get to it.
I'm not in the habit of fighting to the death with fellows I meet by chance on the road. Tell me first what this is all about.
What's happening is I'm challenging you to a duel. You disgusting man. I spit in your face.
Eager, aren't you? Who are you, anyway?
I am Sir Olbram of Lossany.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Olbram. So, what are you after?
My mother sent me out to get some experience. She's obsessed with tales of chivalrous knights. In short, she sent me off looking for some virgin to save, and to win glory in combat. But I have to admit, I'm not very good at it.
You can't duel with someone just like that. There has to be a reason.
But I thought knights fight for their honor, don't they?
I suppose so. Only I'm not a knight. We ought to fight for something more substantial.
Like what?
No doubt you carry some fine clothing on your travels, don't you? Bet that.
Yes. But what if I get invited to a banquet?
Then you can go as you are. At least you'll look adventurous.
Wait, well, what about me? What do I get if I win?
I'm giving you a chance to fight for honor. That's a valuable thing, isn't it? Let's get to it.
Wonderful.
Alright, here we go. I don't think he's very skilled, but we'll give him a chance. Go easy on him, Henry.
Curse it!
Alright, let's see what he's got. Not much. Alright.
A wager is a wager. Farewell, my lovely brocade tunic. Wear it in good health, friend.
Cool.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
What's the matter?
It's the tourney. It always upsets me.
Why would the tourney upset you?
It brings back sad memories about my son Svartalfheim. God rest him. He always loved sword fighting. Even when he was just a lad, he used to duel with his mates with sticks. And for years he saved every groschen he got so he could buy a real weapon. Wasn't long before he had the hang of all sorts of fancy strikes and feints. So when he heard Sir Hanush was holding tourneys for common folk, he was first in line to enroll.
Did your son ever win the tourney?
Oh, aye, more than once. Svartalfheim wasn't the strongest, but he was agile as a weasel. And he put his heart and soul into it.
So what happened to him then?
Well, this fella by the name of Peter enrolled. They called him Black Peter on account of the colour he wore. He beat all comers. No man could match him. Only Svartalfheim was determined to take him, so he started training all the hours God gave. He even started going to Captain Bernard for lessons. And in the last tourney, he got the better of Black Peter in the end and won the prize. Only he never came home that day. I figured he was having a drink in Radzig to celebrate his victory. But he didn't even turn up in the morning, and I started getting worried. I was just on my way to look for him when some merchants came by. They found my boy by the road just past Radzig. He was still alive, but he was burning up and shaking like a leaf. I sent for the sawbones right away. But before the day was out, I had to send for the priest.
Did Svartalfheim have any wounds?
Only a couple of scratches and bruises from the tourney. Nothing that would kill a man. Not even the sawbones could figure out what done him in.
I think I can tell you what happened to Svartalfheim.
Really?
The fact that he died just after beating Black Peter and winning the tourney was no coincidence.
So it was that bastard?
Yes. Black Peter lay in wait and ambushed me. He's a nasty piece of work. The thing is, he had some kind of poison on his weapon, so I reckon he might have poisoned your son. The signs you spoke of point to it.
Merciful God, I knew it! But how did you get away from the fucker? Did you kill him?
I sent him straight to hell where he belongs.
Thank you. It won't bring my boy back, but it gives me some peace to know you avenged his death. Here, take this. It's not much, but it's all I have.
The Sasau swordsmith tells me he'd pay handsomely for a piece of the sword some pilgrim from the Holy Land was selling here a while ago.
Well, my lad, I can't help you there. We're the back of beyond here. Not even a pilgrim ever stops by. And even if he did, what use would some relic be to me? And what would I pay him with?
What in the hell have I just walked into?
What are you?
Oh, these are bandits.
Tired of life, are you?
Don't shoot me. There's guys right behind you. Why are you looking at me?
Come here, Lily Liver.
Oh god, the
Come
lag
over
is
here.
so real. Aha. Oh, somebody's behind me.
Shit.
Come on, go down already. Oh, hello.
Here.
I like how the other guy's just like standing up on the road. That should have hit you, but fine.
You call that
Shit, leave me.
Go down. Jesus. Alright. Oh, you're trying to stab me too? Come on, your friend didn't fare very well. Let's see if you can do any better. Your friend is also rolling down the hill. I hope he doesn't get away. Okay, down he goes. I guess I better loot. Alright, here we are at Sasau Monastery, so let's... Oh god, too fast. Let's talk to Johanka first. We'll figure out this whole cure business, and then we'll go and talk to our friends about their jobs. Right, and she came right to us, perfect.
I don't know if you've heard about it, but Merhojed was attacked.
Oh God! How is Matthias?
Wounded in the arm. He's being brave about it, but his injury looks bad.
I need to see him.
Before you go, there's something else.
What?
Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhojed.
Welcome, Henry.
Their livestock has died off, and now the people are coming down with it too. I thought maybe someone here might know what to do.
Merciful heavens. How awful. It's a good thing you've come here. If there's any hope, this is the place to find it. You need Brother Nicodemus.
Very well, I'll try to find him.
Come back when you know more.
Thank you, Johanka. Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhojed. Johanka said that you might be able to advise.
A disease, you say? How intriguing.
Yes, it's very interesting, but can you help these people?
I can't say at this point. I need to find out a little more. Tell me, has the whole village come down with it?
I expect so, or why would they be so fearful about it?
Merhojed? Isn't there a stud farm there? And what of the animals? Did they get infected too?
Yes, there's a stud farm. And they've all died off. The horses, the cattle, chickens, and now it's got to the people.
That is most intriguing. What are we to do about it? Do you know the symptoms?
Yes, more or less.
Excellent. I have several extensive volumes here in the library. Describe the epidemic, including the symptoms, and we could take some guidance there. Can you read?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So follow me to the scriptorium.
So, where shall we start?
Evidently there's something amiss in the digestive tract.
In the what?
The digestive tract, Henry.
Right.
The trouble lies between the mouth and the arsehole.
Uh-huh. Sure. Just so.
We can rule nothing out at this stage. You look in the Breviarum de Sickness Causa. It's a renowned manuscript from Salerno, written by one Johann of St. Paul.
But I don't know Latin.
Fortunately for you, our brother librarian is translating these momentous medical works into the common tongue, so you can still be of use. Study the breviary carefully, and compare the symptoms with the recorded cases. That will guide us. I'll try the proven classics, Avicenna and his Canon Medicinae, and Galen's magnum opus, the Ars Medicinalis.
Alright, so my book is over here. Let's take a gander. Breviarum de Sickness Causis. Alright. It is known that the body of man is composed of 4 humors: blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm. If these are in balance, the person is hale and healthy. But if there is an excess of one, it swamps the body, disturbs its equilibrium, and leads to ailments or even death. Blah, 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 blah. So there are a couple of different causes that we can look at here. So the first is going to be diphtheria. So coughing spasmodically, sore throat, fever, general malaise, rash or spots. People often become infected by association with the sufferer. Does not infect animals. So I think we can safely rule that one out. The animals were definitely affected. We didn't really see... Well, I think there might have been some people coughing, but I don't know if we were supposed to read into that or not. But not all of the symptoms match, and obviously we know that animals were infected. So the next is plague, which of course is what they thought it was. Caused by black bile fluctuations, accompanied by malaise, often alternated with spastic cough, perhaps even diarrhea, when the body endeavors to rid itself of excess black bile, and great thirst. Okay. After a few days, sores erupt on the body, under the neck and jaw, armpits and groin, black spots in particular areas. It spreads among people, but some people are not afflicted. Small animals do not suffer from the plague, but bigger ones may be affected. This seems much closer. We don't know if they're going to develop sores sores, black spots or anything like that. It hasn't been long enough. But we do know that the smaller animals were afflicted. They said that the chickens died off. And it seems like the larger ones were pretty heavily afflicted as well. This seems to be more human specific, though larger animals can be affected. But from what we gather, it's pretty general. So let's move on. Keep that one in mind. Let's see. Profusion of yellow bile can lead to dysentery, which is manifested by various signs. Violent diarrhea, vomiting, is present but only rarely. Terrible thirst, abdominal cramps, and fever. Transmitted from person to person, but animals do not suffer from it. So, again, very, very close. The symptoms seem to match on this one, but, again, animals definitely suffering. And then we move on to poisoning. Manifested by fever and delirium, stomachache, bringing convulsions, diarrhea, and great thirst. Definitely noticed all of those. We had fever. We had people, in a daze, kind of hallucinating. The guy thought we were his brother, and it was like the Advent fair. Let's see. Rashes, no, but that's only if it's poisoned by gas. Rash does not occur if the poison is ingested through food consumed. Poisoning is not transmitted between humans or animals, but if they all drink, for example, from the same source of water, then people are afflicted as well as animals, the latter often sooner. And that is exactly what we saw. The animals died off first, then the people. All the symptoms seem to match, so it sounds like this is probably the one. And I think we have one more potential ailment, so let's read through it. So, the Saint Vitus dance, which is manifested by the afflicted dancing wildly, contorting and twisting. They may also sing, scream, or lament. They move as if in a trance and wander deliriously. They may dance for days, weeks, or even months, generally until they become exhausted or die. Some may strip off their clothes and devote themselves to sins of the flesh. In one case, dancers were helped by falling from a bridge into the river below. Those who did not drown or die from the falling came to themselves and ceased to dance. It has been reported that this dance plague is highly contagious, although it only affects humans and not animals. That would be strange if it did. Dancers who tried to draw animals into their capers ended up kicked and bitten. That sounds funny, but this is actually a real recorded thing that happened in medieval times. Obviously, it's difficult to say to what extent this is like reality versus kind of myth, but there is definitely documentation of this happening. It's actually quite interesting to read, but it is sort of a real thing. At least it was. I don't think there's ever been a recorded case outside of, the Middle Ages. But anyway, I think it's pretty clear that poisoning is the affliction that we are looking for here, and I know for a fact that it is. So, just wanted to go through it with you guys to show you what it might have been.
I think I have it.
Yes? And what do you make of it?
It's poisoning from tainted water.
Really? That sounds rather unlikely. But if Master Johann of St. Paul's says so, who am I to contradict him? We shall have to prepare some medicine at once.
I could help with that.
Really?
Yes. I know my way around the alchemistic arts.
An ordinary fellow who knows the arts of physic? Who would have thought it? Excellent. I'll give you the recipe, and you have my permission to make use of the monastery laboratory.
I'll get started right away.
I, meanwhile, shall head straight to, where was it again?
Merhojed.
Oh yes, Merhojed. I'll take Johanka with me. She has no equal in caring for the sick. Once you have the medication ready, hurry after me.
Thank you, Brother Nicodemus.
Alright, so let's get to crafting this thing. He's got an awful lot of trust in me for somebody who has... Well, no, I guess we have made potions before, but he didn't seem to remember. But we did, of course, make that cure for the guy who was sick from hiding in the corpses, and then obviously we made the sleeping potion. So we know what we're doing, but he didn't seem to remember that we did. And he trusted us all the same, so it's a little worrying. Anyway, we need water, valerian, thistle, and charcoal. I think I have all of that. Water, valerian, thistle, charcoal. Okay. Alright, so valerian, thistle, charcoal. What are we doing with them? Thistle in the cauldron and boil for 2 turns, and then valerian and boil for another turn. So 2 thistle in then, right? Or is it thistle? It must be 2 thistle straight away. Okay, so water in the cauldron, please. Then the thistle. Make sure to do 2. So that's 1 of thistle. And the 2 of thistle. Okay. So boil for 2 turns. Let's pump the bellows. 2, 3, and 4. Flip the sandglass. I wish there wasn't such a delay between like actions you can do. I'm gonna give it another pump on the bellows. And then we'll flip the sandglass once more. And we'll grab that handful of valerian. Okay, in you go. Give the bellows another pump. Flip the sandglass. Do the bellows one more time, just keep that boiling. And what do I do next? Leave to cool, and then once it's all the way down, add in the charcoal. So I'll just let it cool and drop it in. No! God damn it. Why would you do that? Henry. Well, we'll see if it comes out. I don't know why he put it in straight away. When, like, obviously everything else I can pick up. We'll bottle it and see if it came out. I have a perk that lets me make at least 1 mistake, so I might be okay. But yeah, we should have let that cool first. Any luck? Got it. Perfect. Either the perk saved me or that wasn't a big deal. Either way, we got what we came for. So we're heading back to Merhojed. But before I do that... Oh, it's raining.
God save you, Henry.
Before I do that, I'm going to go talk to our friends and let them know that we found some work for them.
The miller in Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. We couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only...
What?
The reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Nah, that doesn't matter. You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage.
Right, so I nearly forgot we had to deliver this guy's last will and testament. Now, I don't know how they're going to receive me after we got in a fist fight over a corpse's shroud last time we were here.
What do you want? You've no business here.
Let's see. Father Fabian?
Father, Vincent of Merhojed sent me to you.
What's the matter, my son?
I'm bringing Vincent's last will and testament.
Almighty Father, be merciful. What happened?
Master Vincent has been taken seriously ill. A disease has spread in Merhojed.
Yes, I did hear that people are sick in some village hereabouts. God in heaven, but Vincent is still alive?
Yes, for now.
Let us hope the good Lord will leave him here with us a while longer. Thank you for bringing it to me. If Vincent passes on, I'll see to his wishes. Here, take a few coins for your trouble.
Thank you, Father.
Alright, so there's one last thing I'd like to do before we leave Sasau, and that is to check in with the custodian and see if he needs us to go hunting any bandits. Hello there.
I've come from Captain Robard.
And what might the captain be wanting to let me know?
I'm not a messenger. I've nothing to report. The captain thought I could lend you a hand.
Oh, so it's you, the hero of Talmberg. So be it. If you succeed, I'll gladly reward you. And if you don't, I won't be shedding any tears. We know that one of their encampment is on the hill by Skeletts, nearby the mines.
I'll take a look there.
Right, so this whole playthrough I've been telling you guys not to turn in your trophies when you do these missions. And this is the guy that I've been saving them for. He's the one you want to turn them into because, at least in older versions of the game, he gave you by far the most for them. Now, they might have patched this out, but I'm going to go ahead and turn them in and see what we get.
I have some, well, trophies.
Let's have them. Very nice, very nice. Take care now.
So yeah, I think they've nerfed that slightly. He used to pay like 200 groschen per year or something. So I got about 600 for 18 that I had. Which is a bit of a bummer, but, you know, what can you do? Right, well, I'll probably go grab the relic for him when we come back to turn in the other trophies, but for now we obviously need to deliver a cure. So let's hurry off back to Merhojed.
Yeah.
God be with you.
I brought some help, as promised. Will you let me see the prisoner?
I will let you, I will. Of course I will. My boy, if you've really brought a potion to rid us of this scourge, I'll let you do anything.
Ah, whether I've managed to rid you of the scourge, that remains to be seen. It'll take a few days before we know whether the potion worked.
I know, but even so, just the fact that someone cares, that means a lot to us.
You should check where your water's coming from. Nicodemus and I think that it comes down to poisoning.
It'd be hard to poison the spring, but what about the well? Good lord, that's difficult to believe.
I have my suspicions.
The bastards weren't satisfied with killing young Straw. The fucking bastards!
So, here I am. How are things looking?
It doesn't look good at all, my boy. Do you have the potion?
Yes, here it is.
I'll take 4 doses, you take the rest, and let's split up. I'll see to the Straw family, while you deal with Melikhar's wife and the rest. They wouldn't let me go near that prisoner. They want him to suffer. Despite his terrible crimes, to treat a fellow mortal soul like that.
Perhaps I'll be able to convince them. I promised I'd bring them help, and I've kept my word. They must let me go to him.
I hope so, but in the short while I've been here, I've found the locals to be rather stubborn.
You're back?
Yes, and I have something to make you well again.
Good Lord above. Thank you for showing us your mercy.
Drink this, and give it to everyone in the house. I've also brought someone who will take care of you until you get back on your feet.
Thank you, Good Samaritan.
Brother, is that you? We have to hitch up the sled.
Yes, the sled. Just you drink this and you'll be fine.
Is this holy water, brother?
It is. Drink some, and give it to the others in the house too. Brother Nicodemus will come to check on you.
You're back?
Of course. I always keep my word.
I don't doubt that, naturally.
Don't worry. I brought a remedy from Sasau.
Lord,
drink this regularly, you and everyone in the house.
A remedy? You have hands of gold, pure gold, my boy. God bless you. Did you deliver my will?
It lies securely in the safekeeping of Father Fabian.
What a relief.
Okay, so that's everybody treated. Now we just need to wait a day and see how this shakes out. Everything should be fine because I know we used the right treatment. So we'll just have to come back in a day and we can interrogate him. In the meantime, we're going to head out to Skeletts and investigate the mine for Sir Radzig and Master Fafar. And while we're in that area, we're going to go ahead and look for the treasure that the old, what's-his-face, the guy that we beat up back in episode 1, see if he was lying or not about that treasure, since we're finally in this area. And, of course, we have some bandits to kill while we're out there, too. So, I guess I'll see you guys when we arrive.